We're going to end it with the last guest on today. Just unbelievable, Lindsay. Would you care to do the honors? Or would you like let it rip then? Go ahead.
Yes. Well, I'm very excited, especially, I have such a connection and a place in my heart to this place. But Wes Ramey is joining us today, who basically, y'all, how lucky is this guy? Because he's the guy who gets to talk about the happiest place in the Smokies, Dollywood, perhaps the happiest place in the world. I'd say it rivals Disney World. It's more accessible for me. So that's nice as well. But listen, I'm not just saying that. I was actually just at Splash Country 2 weeks ago with my daughter. We're already planning our full family trip this fall to go probably both at Halloween and Thanksgiving with my whole family will be in town. There's something about Dollywood that just feels like a little warm hug from the South, guys. And this year it's extra special. It's their 40th season.
Unbelievable.
40th season they're doing what they do. And so excited to welcome to the show Wes Ramey to dive in and talk about our favorite place. Wes, welcome to the show. Do you just smile all the time knowing that your job is PR for the greatest place in the world? Wes?
Wes? Do we have a Wes?
He's on a roller coaster. He can't talk. He's on a roller coaster, guys.
Oh, can you not hear me?
We
can hear you now. We just stepping off a roller coaster right into the action. Yeah. Good morning.
So first of all, yes, just an amazing place to work. And to your point, last year we were the TripAdvisor #1 theme park in the entire country based on guest reviews. So we think that it's the best park in the country as well. But yeah, just so many fun things that happen in the park day to day. But what we want to do is be a place where guests can come and make those family memories, and that they're going to always remember and take with them. And that's why we do what we do. And so, yeah, it's a great place to be knowing we're helping families make those memories.
I kind of wanted to pivot here in regards to making those memories, because memories is the key word when you talk about nostalgia tourism. Which, by the way, it's both just a kind of an easy thing for a lot of people to understand, but it's also a kind of a complex strategy by which you kind of use the old to bring people into the new. Can you kind of talk about what it is you're hoping to kind of attract people towards you guys, not just for Lindsay's 6-year-old daughter who loves it, but for Lindsay herself? The idea that how do we make sure that both, when we say families, we really mean that. We don't mean a parent chasing a kid or a parent trying to keep a kid interested. We mean that everybody is processing what they're experiencing differently while still being in the same place.
Well, I mean, that's a great point. So this is the 40th anniversary season. Today is actually my 41st birthday. So I literally grew up coming.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wes.
He's awesome.
Happy birthday to you.
We love him. There you go.
Well, I appreciate that. That is awesome. And it just goes back to that fact that, I've been alive basically the entire time Dollywood has been a park. I have those memories of being here as a child. I'm now bringing my kids, want to make those memories with my kids. But there are things that I remember from my time as a child that are still here, but we're adding new things all the time so that we have new memories to be made. But with it being the 40th anniversary, we are specifically looking back at the past. We have a show right now called Play On, which celebrates 40 years of our entertainment, and it is Dolly Parton's theme park, so the entertainment is going to be the best that it can be. So we're looking back at a lot of guest favorite shows through the years. We've incorporated them into that one show. Guests are loving that. We've got our drone show, which has been huge the last few years. It's going on right now during summer, which has a 40th anniversary theme that has all of our roller coaster logos are up in drones, and people are loving that. And if you stand in the park and listen to them as the logos come up, they're talking about those memories of when that ride opened or the first time they rode that ride. And, we try to do things in the park that really lend themselves to giving families those opportunities. So a lot of our roller coasters have a 39-inch height requirement, and my kids were able to ride them about the time they turned 4 years old. And they're thrilling rides for adults, but they're great for kids. And they can remember the first real roller coaster they rode was at Dollywood. So we're always trying to take those moments and weave them into what we're doing so that, as you said, if you've been coming your whole life like I have, or if it's your very first time, there's something that is going to appeal to you.
I went when I was a kid and then didn't go until actually this past 2 years, the first time I've gone back since I was a kid, now that I have a kid, and I'm like, oh my God, this feels like home.
Yes.
And Dollywood, I mean, it really, Wes, it feels like a living, at risk of sounding cheesy, but I don't care. It feels like a living country song because it's, it's heart, it's history, it's family and faith. It's like good, clean fun. And it really tells a story like all the best songs do, if I'm being nerdy.
Yes.
And, there's something about walking through the park that really, it just feels creatively charging, but also like you're stepping to a world where joy is the real intention. And so I'm curious to you because I mean, I know I walk in places and I'm like, let's do this. What if we tried this? I don't know how to pull those things off. And I'm guessing Dolly's the same. Dolly has this vivid imagination. She's like, let's do this. Now somebody make it happen. You're one of those people that make it happen. So how do you guys balance that? Okay, joy is the intention here. We want to make this all about joy and happy fun, but also it is a business. We've got to pull off the dream. So how, like Dolly and Disney and these people, how does the business side play in to making these creative visions come true?
Well, first, you hit the nail on the head with Dolly and her dreams. And, every day, there are things that are coming to us that our teams are looking at ways to put those into play. And those dreams are what have built Dollywood. And in fact, Dollywood itself was a huge dream for her because she wanted to do two things. She wanted to invite people here to the Smokies so they could experience the beauty of the area. But she also wanted to hire the folks of this region to work here because she knew that the folks here are genuinely friendly and that when people came and met them, they would kind of fall in love with the people as much as the place. And if you kind of look at how the park has progressed through the years, that's one key element that has remained the same. And we call ourselves hosts. We're not employees. We're not anything like that. We're hosts because we are hosting you as a guest in what is essentially our home. And we want you to feel like you're part of the family. And I think if you really look at the Dollywood experience, amazing rides, excellent food, great shows, everything about the park is amazing. But at the end of the day, the people are what create those memories and help guests be able to have those times that they're always going to remember. So for us, it's always remembering, yes, we have to balance those dreams and have the great attractions and all of that, but we have to make sure that our hosts are taken care of and feel appreciated just as much as the guests, because if the hosts are not having a good day, they're not going to be able to help the guests have as good of a day. So we try to do so many things to make sure that the host experience is as awesome as it is for guests. And that's kind of that secret for Dollywood. It's the way that you feel when you're here, and that's because of the way you're treated by the hosts who work here.
It's a complicated sauce to a large degree because it occurs to me that one of the things you have to do is you have to create the kind of host, and we'll use that term. I like that term a lot. You have to create the kind of host that creates the kind of park attendee that then returns the energy to the host and lifts them up as well, so that you're invested not just in making sure the experience of the park is what you want it to be, but you're invested in making sure that the guests who are attending become who the hosts need them to be to allow the host to then become the best version of themselves. And that's a really kind of complicated system that you have to create, because you're not just checking in on the people who are coming to the park, you're checking in on the people who are creating the park. Because let's face it, we've all been to an amusement park I went through one of the most famous haunted houses in America with nobody in it but my wife and myself. There was nobody else in there. And the experience of doing that was incredibly creepy, but not in a haunted house way. It felt very empty without kids and families and couples screaming their heads off at the same time. And it really is an ecosystem that you guys are trying to create, which means that you're relying on not just the nostalgia of what you can create, but the nostalgia of what the guest brings. I'm sorry, you got me excited talking about that. Does that make sense?
No, that makes complete sense, and you're exactly right. It really is a cycle that has to continue. We have to take care of the guests in a positive way so that they are, like you said, returning that back to the hosts. And we, as a company, make sure that we treat our hosts well. We have a lot of benefits that you don't find many places. We have an on-site healthcare facility for our hosts. On day one, there are about 100 online college degree programs our hosts can enroll in free of charge to them. They don't even have to pay up front. The company takes care of it immediately. It's free lunch every day, just so many different items that we provide to our hosts so that they feel appreciated and loved just as much as our guests do. And that is part of that sauce that, as you mentioned, it's the hosts are part of it, the attractions are part of it, and the guests feel in that other part of it. And keeping that cycle going is crucial to what we do here. But I think due to the awards, that we've seen us, been able to earn over the last few years, really does go to show that I think we're doing a good job of that. And when guests come, they're experiencing something that they just don't find really at any other theme park. And we have surveys and reviews from them ourselves that tell us that that's the case, and something that we work hard to maintain.
Well, and I think, too, when you say that you don't see it at other theme parks, and I'm looking at you, Disney World, the difference, I think, why y'all rival it's because there's something about the mountains and the fact that the park is nestled in the mountains that add to it. Feels so different. It makes it feel, I mean, it's almost like spiritual up there at risk of going deep. Because do you feel that energy around the park? I mean, when you drive through, and there's Splash Country as well. Like, I was just on the slides with my daughter, as I said. Like, the fact that I'm on a water slide staring at the trees in the mountains that's a real magical balance. So do you feel that when you walk through the mountains, like this is the epitome of, I mean, and nature with joy and thrill rides? What a cool balance. That's what really makes it stand out as well.
Yeah, it really is. So we have the natural beauty of the area. As I said, it was one of the reasons Dolly wanted to build something here. She wanted people to come and be able to experience that. And we do a great job of bringing all of that energy from just the natural environment down into the park and really creating an atmosphere where people can come in and kind of forget what's going on outside of the gates and just focus on their time here. And I think one word that we kind of use here that I think hits at what you're saying is just authenticity. So when you come into the park, it's authentic. We are literally built into the hills of the Smoky Mountains. We take advantage of that topography as we build our rides. We're not clearing, huge hillsides away in most cases. We're able to build our rides to take advantage of that and to keep that beauty here. We try to serve authentic food to this region. Our hosts, we want them to act authentically and welcome people in and make that connection. And I think all of those things combined, again, do create that atmosphere that you just don't see everywhere.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a really practical question here, and it's one I always ask of people who have haunted attractions, people who have water parks, people who have, any kind of theme park. You guys happen to have all of this stuff in one way or another, and we will get to Halloween in a minute. And promise us you'll come back for Halloween so we can talk about that as well. But I wanted to kind of ask you if let's say that I have a wife and 3 children, and it's boys, and they run the gamut between 7 and 11. All right. So, and I actually have Wednesday morning off, and I'm driving there, and I'll get there that afternoon, and I have off until the following Monday. I'm asking you how a family like that, and they're coming in late August, early September. I'm asking, how does a family like that experience the park? If you were telling a friend, here's how you should do those 4 to 5 days, what would you recommend? What does that experience look like?
Yeah, so especially that time of year, the water park is still open as well, which it's one of the leading water parks in the country. So
it's gorgeous.
It is, and we've earned the award over there for one of the most beautiful water parks in the world. And so I think if you're here that time of year, I really would encourage you to take your time and enjoy everything. If you want to be able to see the shows, ride all the rides, experience all the great food at the theme park, then that is a great time of year to be able to do all of those things. To take a couple of days to visit the park, make sure you're able to do all those things. Go over to the water park, experience the water park as well. But then we are in, for a lot of people, I kind of feel like this is, Pigeon Forge is kind of like Las Vegas for families, for children. There are so many things to do here in the area that you can go and do. We have the Titanic Museum. There are pink Jeep tours that take you up into the Smoky Mountains. We've got all kinds of go-karts and shopping. And then we're right in the doorstep to Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is the #1 most visited national park in the entire country. So when you combine all of those things, it really is an experience that keeps guests coming back, and would be something I would recommend if you've not been here to do for 4 or 5 days. There's so much to do here and to enjoy for families.
Well, Wes, when I was there a couple weeks ago, it was funny. My daughter and I got there before the other families had gotten there that we were renting a house with. And I was driving up the mountain to our house, and my GPS went out. So I didn't know how to get to the house. So I had to, and I loved that I had extra time, and I didn't normally I might freak out and throw my phone and be like, oh, my GPS isn't working. But I just took a pause. I'm like, this is so beautiful. I casually drove back down to the bottom of the mountain. And because of that, I got to see a bear, a black bear. And that might not sound like a big deal to you, but I'd never seen one. And I started screaming with giddy excitement. And it walked right across the road in front of my car, looked at us, kept walking, didn't care. My daughter and I had this magical moment. But I say that because, to your point, there's so much to experience out in the mountains, and I love that you answered the question, not just promoting your parks, but promoting the area and the tourism and the magic of it all, which is really cool. So it does have so much. I mean, even just the family moments that you can make and memories you can make in a cabin, and there's so many cabins you can rent around there outside of staying at Dolly's Dream Resort. So speaking of Dolly's Dream Resort, and it's summer. We're here now. You guys have a lot going on specifically this summer now through August with the bubble show and the fireworks and the drones. So talk to us about the specific things happening in honor of 40th celebration for the summer.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we have that show Play On, which is huge, and folks have loved that. It is a kind of that retrospective look back at 40 years of Dollywood entertainment, and features a lot of shows that were guest favorites through the years. But specifically for summer, we have the Gazillion Bubbles show, which is probably one of our most requested shows throughout the year for families. And Gazillion Bubbles is an accurate name for it because it feels like a gazillion bubbles. But kids love that as much as the adults, and I think that's what's special there.
Yes.
And then
I can attest. I can attest.
Yes.
I was like a child.
Yes. Then we also have Perondi's Stunt Dog Experience, and that show includes a bunch of stunt dogs that are all actual animals from shelters, and they have come in and trained these dogs, and they're here all summer, so families are loving that. But then all the great festivals we have the remainder of this season really does lend itself to that 40th anniversary and just bringing families together like we have been for the entire history of the park.
By the way, I'm just going to go off on a completely bizarre tangent here. You guys realize the possibilities for an animated film about Perondi stunt dogs, right? I mean, the idea of a dog who has been abandoned, making his way across the country, trying to get to Dollywood because he believes himself to be a great stunt dog is peak. It is peak, and Dolly could do the soundtrack for it. It'd be amazing.
I love that. And it is a fun story, and they make sure that in that show they bring that out. They tell the story of all the animals, and really it does pull at you, I think, more than a lot of those shows that you would see like that. So it is a fun experience, and just kind of rounds out the full day when you're here during the summer.
Really quickly, before we go any further, Dre had one little quick thing he wanted to say. By the way, our producer, Wes, is so excited. He's been sitting there going I want to talk to Wes. So I'm going to bring him in just for a second. Go ahead and fire away.
Hey, good to talk to you again there, Wes. I went there years ago with my ex-girlfriend's family, and they paid for everything, brought us on the trip, had a killer time, and it was right at the rise of Pokemon Go. So it's an excellent place also to do Pokemon Go. But long story sorry, go ahead, bud.
Well, I remember that. I had been here a few years when that was a huge thing, and we actually had to contact the folks at Pokemon Go to tell them, hey, don't put any of the characters behind any of the ride perimeters because we're people trying to get into ride perimeters. So that was
my worst nightmare.
I remember.
Hey, listen, I had a 10-year-old punch me in the gut because there's a Dragonite he was trying to get. But look, that's not the story I want to tell you real quick. You were talking about families that go and they come back again and everything. My poor girlfriend's little sister is probably never going back again because her older brother didn't tell her exactly how fast. I think it's which one is it? The eagle?
Wild eagle?
Yes, the wild eagle. Didn't tell the poor girl how fast it went. She soiled herself on the ride, Wes.
Well, you know,
Sorry if you had to. If
we
you
were
were the
like-
one that had to clean that up, Wes. We're sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Wes.
sorry, bud.
no, I was not. We have a great team. They take care of doing those things. So, you know, maybe
I mean,
you
I
can
didn't
come
think
back
you
and
were
try out-
PR by day and janitor by night, but
PR by day and P duty by night. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
would have her come back and experience all the other great things that we have to do in the park. And, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I think it does sound cliche, but there really is something for every member of the family. It's a multi-generational experience. We've got, like I said, those great shows, amazing food, so many enjoyable things for no matter who you are in the family that can come and have that great time together. So, you know, maybe she can give us another try and just not ride Wild Eagle.
well, he broke up with her, so we don't care about that family anymore anyway. So.
Okay, well,
fine.
that's good. Then maybe it's for the best.
Wes, I want to know about you now. So first of all, before I ask you the 3 questions that we ask every guest here, what is your favorite Dolly song?
Oh, my favorite Dolly song is probably "Light of a Clear Blue Morning."
Ooh, deep cut.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You never hear that, you know, as the answer, but yes, that would be mine.
I like that you didn't be like Jolene. I mean, great song, but
Jolene, yeah, 9 to 5, yeah.
yeah.
Never
Thank
heard
you
of
for
him.
thinking outside the box. Okay, so this show is really about the first half of the show is about how truckers make their living. The second half is about how they make their lives. So, you know, out on the road, whether it's for, you know, pleasure or weekend with their friends or alone or whatever they do and family. So to you, Wes, if you could go anywhere this weekend, if Dolly doesn't have you cleaning poop and writing press releases, if you could go anywhere this weekend, where are you going? How are you getting there? And what are you listening to along the way?
Well, that is an excellent question. You know, for me, when I first, before I came to Dollywood, I actually worked at Bristol Motor Speedway up in the
nice.
Tri-Cities area, which is where I'm from, of Tennessee and Virginia. And I love just being able to get out and maybe go to a race or something like that on a weekend if I'm not here at work. And then just traveling by car, because I think there's so many great things to see along the way. I enjoy taking my family, and we'll go on road trips and just kind of experience things and see things that we don't get to see every day and that you're going to miss when you're flying over. So, you know, I think, you know, obviously trucking is the backbone of the country, and because of what they do, we're able to do so many things and have the things that we need to rely on every single day. So, you know, it's a great country, and I think for folks who are able to come here and experience what we have in the Smoky Mountains, we hope that they make us one of those road trips.
And but what are you listening to along the way?
That's
What
it.
am I listening to? It's probably embarrassing. I have a little bit of everything on my playlist, but I'm a very strong late 80s, early 90s country fan. So that's
Yes.
probably what it's going to be. Some Clint Black, some Alan Jackson,
Yes.
Sammy Kershaw. That's kind of what I enjoy.
That's amazing. But just make sure you don't, if you like Sammy Kershaw, we reported yesterday in our country and western music news that ding dong took a loaded gun accidentally on the plane. So
Oh, well, that's not good.
Just
I
keep
can't
that in
support
mind.
that. Yeah,
don't support that. I'm just kidding.
Let me ask you this too, by the way. So there's a lot of great food over there, and we want to get people hungry because lunch is coming up here really quickly. What's your favorite thing at Dollywood to eat, and what's your favorite thing to eat in general when you're on the road? What's a great place to stop in regards to what kind of food do you get or hankering for a hunka?
Well, in the park, I love our Aunt Granny's buffet. Aunt Granny is actually what Dolly's nieces and nephews call her because she's an aunt, but she treats them like a grandmother. I love going there. The fried chicken is amazing. The pot roast is there, and it's all you can eat, so you can't go wrong there. But me personally, ever since I was a kid, I have loved country ham. I had a family who made their own country ham, and so when we go out to eat, I like to find a good meat and three where I can sit down and just have a great meal. And if country ham is on the menu, that's going to be the best.
Aunt Granny, I love that.
By the way, I actually drove up to an appointment yesterday, and there was a building right there, and it said a meat and three, and I'm like, I hadn't seen that kind of sign in forever. Nothing better than a good meat and three. Thank you so much for making time for us. I hope you have the best of summers. It sounds like you're really excited about this 40th anniversary.
Yeah, it's a great time to come out to the park and like I said, kind of relive those memories for folks who have been coming here for years. And like I said, we're always looking to add new things and help families make brand new memories that they've never had before. And, I'm actually getting ready to walk out to a meeting right now. So I'm at Splash Country, and I can hear the families, having fun screaming on the water slides now. And I think that's why we do what we do here at Dollywood, is to make families, give them that time to come together, help them have fun, and just enjoy each other.
What a fun office. Let me say real quick, Wes, before we lose you, because I mentioned I have not been there for Halloween, but I hear it's the real deal, and they go all out, as well as my family's talking about coming before Thanksgiving. So we'd love to have you back. But that being said, do people need to start planning now, or can you plan? Is there a way to plan last minute to go to Dollywood? There is, right?
Well,
both.
Yes, there is. And I will say that's one of the best things about our experience is, sometimes on other trips you have to plan way in advance to be able to get to do everything you want to do when you're going to a theme park. And here it's a little bit different. You can take your time when you're in the park, enjoy different things. You can go to our website, check out everything we have coming up. We have a great app as well. The Dollywood app provides a lot of great information. But to your point, our Harvest Festival and our Great Pumpkin Illuminati, we'll have about 12,000 pumpkins all throughout the park, which just they're in lighted displays. Folks love that. And then with our Christmas festival, we've actually already started hanging our more than 6 million Christmas lights all throughout the park. So when you look at that, we have been named for 15 years the best theme park Christmas event anywhere in the world, something we're very proud of. So those two festivals, there's a lot to enjoy that time of year. So just come down and enjoy all that we have to offer. But yes, just check out the website, and it's going to have everything that you need to plan your trip.
This content, by the way, will be up later on today on YouTube and everywhere that we actually have a presence. Wes Ramey, the Public Relations Director for Dollywood, has joined us this morning. Go to Dollywood.com and plan your trip now, man. It's exciting. Wes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.